Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to show a Dynamo script to improve the workflow when creating doors, windows, graphic legend. Before developing any Dynamo script, it is mandatory to know the scope and how will it allow us to reduce the working time in order to develop a functional script, avoiding mistakes while running it. In our case, due to how the doors, windows documentation is created, it's not useful to generate sheets while generating the graphic legends. That step will need some filtering and organization of model elements, legend components and parameters. All these filtering options can lead to some errors while running the script. If there is the need of generating the sheets, will be better to develop a set of scripts. There are few developed Dynamo scripts that allow us to create sheets and place views on them. So on today's video, we're aiming just at the legend generation script. If you've been working with Revit long enough, you already faced the limited amount of tools Revit legends have. And that's a problem with Dynamo too, as some of the legends components are not read as Dynamo curves, which doesn't allow us to automate the annotations of those components. The script we're talking about today requires some previous work. We first need a reference legend, which will include all the legend components we want to repeat and adjust, as well as a detail component with generic annotations. This detail component is a loaded family that contains some instance parameters that are based on parameters of every of the types of doors or windows or wherever we want to include into the legends. So let's jump into Dynamo and check how this script will work and run. The first step is to select the reference legend we have created and check the category from which we want to get the legends. By default, we can choose between doors and windows, but it can be extended, for example, to natural ventilation fixtures if we develop documentation for this based on legends. The first part of the script is quite easy to understand. It obtains all elements of category as well as their key values to get not only the different types but also the number of elements of each one of them. For the next step, the script will duplicate the view as many times as different types we have, and will name them and modify the elements contained in the view according to element types. As we have two different legend components for each view, for each type inside the view, we need to include a lead cycle node to duplicate the input value. After all the elements are placed, this script will change the view line of one of those elements to get plan and elevation view for each type. At the same time this Dynamo script is doing this, it is also getting all the geometry points of the elements to place them in a center and aligned position between them. For the last step of the script, we need to fill all those instance parameters we have in the detail element family. These elements are, as we said before, based on type parameters for any of those types. So this Dynamo will read those parameters from the types and fill all the instance parameters from the detail component. So now let's minimize Dynamo, run it and see it working. Now it's going to take a bit of time because it's quite some views and some filling parameters which Dynamo needs to do. But as you can see, all the views have been created, named and modified according to types. It will be needed to add dimensions and place them into sheets, but as we talked beforehand, that placement can also be automated in case that is required. As you can see here, now I'm checking just the type name and the family name and also that the legend component match those names, and the doors code, the doors description, and also the count of those doors. In case there is some doubt about the count, we can see here in the 3D that the count is matching the number of elements as is coming from Dynamo. If you want to check some views, placement in sheets script, you can check Dynamo forum or GitHub, where you can find plenty of them. Or just you can wait for some of the upcoming videos here in the channel, where I will show a script that generates all the general MEP plans based on an Excel sheet.